Hey guys, welcome back to an episode of Free Terrible Gamers. I'm your host Colin with Ashton.
Hey guys, welcome back.
All right, let's dive into this big old Nintendo glory hole. All right, Nintendo Direct results are out after 2 weeks. Well, they've been out for 2 weeks, but obviously we pre-recorded the last time, so last week's episode was still before Nintendo Direct had came out. So that's why we're covering it now.
Yeah, so last you guys heard, we predicted gave our opinions and predicted what we thought would be on the Nintendo Direct. And I will point out what I was right on and what I was wrong on. Start off, I was wrong about the date. Colin was right. I was a week off. I thought it was going to be a Valentine's Day drop, but it wasn't. It was on February 8th. So I'll go in order of how they were announced by Nintendo. Pikmin 4 was the first thing up with the release date of July 21st. It looks really good. I'm not a big fan of Pikmin, but I know a lot of people are. So,
I'll mess with Omar like that.
man, a lot of people are, I mean, a lot more people are fans than they used to be. I don't know. But anyway, Bayonetta Origins comes out March 17th. Going back to the start of Bayonetta and before she was known as Bayonetta, I believe her name was Celeste or something like that.
Yeah,
Something weird.
something.
Anyway, Splatoon 3 Expansion Pass DLC coming out in spring 2023. Colin has played Splatoon 3 and I've heard he is a big fan of it. I have personally never played a Splatoon game. I've always wanted to try it, but just never picked it up. All right, up next we have Disney Illusion Island, and that comes out on July 28th, my anniversary. Um, It's a weird. It's the weird Mickey Mouse. It's not the Mickey Mouse everybody knows. It's a new weird animation.
Yeah,
It just looks like a 2D side scroller. It looks pretty interesting. I mean, it might be fun because I like
so
2D
you say it
games
definitely
like
looks
that.
like a 2D platformer, your standard.
Yeah, just because it has Mickey and Disney tied to it, it'll sell pretty well, I would say.
I know I'll probably get it just for Sierra.
Right. And then up next we had Wave 2, a Fire Emblem Engage expansion pass, and that comes out on February 8th. Then Advance Wars 1 plus 2 Reboot Camp releases April 21st. So I was wrong about this one. I said it would be a shadow drop, but I was right saying that it would be in this direct. So right and wrong there. Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe free demo was out on the release of the direct, which was February 8th, and the full game on February 24th. I was right about this being in the direct. Big announcements was Game Boy games coming to Nintendo Switch Online, and games that are out on release are Tetris, Super Mario Land 2, 6 Golden Coins, The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX, Gargoyles Quest, Game & Watch Gallery 3, Alone in the Dark, The New Nightmare, and Metroid 2 Return of Samus, Wario Land 3, Kirby's Dream Land, with more games to be added into the future. The ones I'm most excited about are definitely Link's Awakening, which is already playable on the Switch with the remake, but it's cool to have the original in there. Tetris, always been a big fan of the original Tetris. Not much there, it's just a standard puzzle game. Up next, we had Game Boy Advance games, which will be part of the Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack.
Buddy.
So, games that, uh,
I said, ding.
yeah, but games that'll be out on release are Super Mario Advance 4, Super Mario Bros. 3, WarioWare Inc., Mega Micro Games, Kuru 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 In, Mario Kart Super Circuit, Mario Kart I'm sorry, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, The Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap. It's nice to see them expand the online service, and that way people get more of their money's worth out of it since they did up the price to $80 a year for the family membership and $50 for the individual. All right, up next we have Metroid Prime Remastered. So I was right about this being part of the direct, but I did not expect them to just shadow drop the digital version that day. That was really crazy to me that they did that. Um, the physical version won't be out until February 22nd. If I'm going to get it, which I'm sure I will eventually, I'd get the physical version. Right. Then we had Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Pack Wave 4 releases spring 2023. Minecraft Legends April 18th. Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection, which we've talked about here before, releases April 14th. Tales of Symphonia Remastered releases date of recording, February 17th. And then the last thing we had was the Tears of the Kingdom update trailer. If you guys have not seen that trailer, go watch it. It is awesome. It looks really good. It's got me really excited for the game, and I don't want to go into too much detail, but it's just looks really good. And
What'd you think about those
I have a
goblins?
lot more. Pretty cool.
I mean, did you see the one that was mining?
No, I didn't even pay attention to that. I'll have
Yeah,
to
it was
look
in the
back at
background.
it.
Like there was, I think, two or three of them around, and there was one he had like a spiked club, and he was hitting the mines with it. So it seems like they have got smarter.
Hmm, that'd be pretty interesting to see. But they did say that Tears of the Kingdom will be $70 instead of your typical Nintendo game being $60. And they also announced a collector's edition, which will be $130.
Yeah,
But it being $70 isn't a standard going forward for first party Nintendo titles. It's just a case by case standard. So, for example, Pikmin 4 pre order is out for only $60. So it just depends on probably the hype of the game. It's a big release. Tears of the Kingdom is a huge release. So it's able to be $70 and people will still buy it. And it's took a lot of time, so it probably just depends how much work's been into it and how much money they put into it for how much the game will be. And inflation probably has something to do with that as well. So just all of this comes into factors with the pricing of the video games going forward.
I say all
All
your
right, Colin.
Legends and your Mario's will be, well, your 3D Mario's will be $70 from here on out.
Yeah, I would say so. Oh, I forgot something here. There will also be an amiibo launching alongside Tears of the Kingdom. It is a Link amiibo, and if you scan the amiibo from if you scan that amiibo or any amiibo from the Legend of Zelda series, you'll get helpful materials, weapons, or a paraglider fabric based on whatever amiibo that you scan. So pretty cool. Breath of the Wild did similar things with the tunics of whichever one you would scan. So
Are you actually going to get an amiibo, or you want to stick with those little card things you've got?
I'll probably just stick with the card things
All right, going kind of on the
or make
same
my
that you had with it. Oh yeah, I forgot you knew how to make those.
own.
Uh, so Prime, like you said, it was a shadow drop. I'm just highlighting the ones that I found interesting.
That's what
Uh,
I did.
so Prime Remastered, of course, it was a shadow drop, as Ashton mentioned. First Samus game I ever played. Yet again, never beat it. So I still played it enough to know the graphics difference. And my goodness, the graphics are, in my personal opinion, 20 times better than what they was on a GameCube. Even though the GameCube is still pretty good, but seeing it pop up more current, I was like, oh my goodness, the graphics actually got better on this game.
Yeah, they're really, really good. And it not being a complete remake, it's kind of crazy because of how good it looks. You would think it'd be a complete from the ground up remake, but it's not. It's just the remaster. It's in the title. People were debating online, is this a remake or a remaster? But it's in the title. It's Metroid Prime Remaster, so it's a remaster.
Yep. Next up was that Mickey platformer that you mentioned. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, like I said, with
Disney Illusion Island, I believe.
yeah, Illusion Island. Like I said, I'd probably just get it. Not, I mean, same reason why they'll pick up Hogwarts Legacy. It wouldn't be because of Colin.
Right.
uh, Dead Cell is coming out with a Castlevania crossover.
I did see that. I didn't put it in my highlights, but I did see that. And I thought that was pretty cool. I like Dead Cells.
Yeah, and then I liked what minute and a half trailer we got with the Castlevania crossover.
Yeah.
Of course, there was the Game Boy and Game Boy Advanced. I'm, of course, more excited with the Game Boy Advance games, and I think one of the games that's going to come out after the initial thing, I think it's after the 24th of this month, is it's going to release the Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons too.
Yep. That'd be nice to have on there. I beat Ages, but I haven't beat Seasons yet.
But one's more puzzle and one's more defense based, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what they say. Because I've never played them, so I can't verify that. I know Ages is very puzzle oriented, and I've heard Seasons is more combat.
Oh, right. And then they did release the vouchers as well.
Yeah.
So for $100, you can get two games of their selection, like pretty much a Nintendo selection. They tell you what two games you can get, but you got a list of games, and the new games that are going to be on the list is Tears of the Kingdom, Pikmin 4, and Advanced Wars. So already at that price, if you're paying $100, you can get Tears of the Kingdom, which is $70, and then you can get Pikmin 4 for 60. So you definitely get a good deal on that game if you're okay with digital copies.
Right. Yeah, and I said, I believe it was the last podcast episode we was talking about the voucher, and I said that I didn't know if Tears of the Kingdom would be available, but like you said, it is from the
Well, we didn't
launch.
know
It is going to be available.
wasn't on the thing yet.
Right. Right. We hadn't heard hardly anything about Tears of the Kingdom at that point until this direct. So
Yeah, they kind of got released. I mean, they would have got released in the same video. So,
yeah,
I mean, a whole week later after we had recorded that. So, well, I wouldn't even say a whole week. It was what? No, it was a whole week because it was yeah, it'd been the same week. It'd been a few days.
the the day after our podcast released, the Nintendo Direct went up.
Oh, okay. But yeah, but yeah, Tears of the Kingdom, Pikmin 4, and Advanced Wars 1 and 2 are on the voucher thing. So you can get with and more games, but those are the new games that are out on it. So, like I said, if you get a voucher and you're okay with digital copies, easily just between Tears of the Kingdom and Pikmin 4, there's a $130 value that you can get for $100.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty cool for Nintendo to do the voucher program. That's pretty nice of them to save some people a little bit of money anyway.
Yeah. Well, tell you a little bit of way to save money too. I seen it was right before we hopped on here, and I know you'd be okay with it because it's still a Legend of Zelda thing. But a GameStop right now, if you're okay with pre-owned copies, is Link's Awakening pre-owned is well for the remake one is $22 at GameStops.
Nice, good deal.
Yeah,
Regular $60
that's right. So I mean, if you're
for a
okay with it,
remade Game Boy game.
that's right. But it's the high graphic one that you
Yeah.
100%ed.
Yes, I did. And it was very, very fun to 100%.
All right. Halfway later, we finally get out of the Nintendo Direct results part. Uh, so we kind of stick on it because it's still Tears of the Kingdom. as you can tell where this is going.
There's a
It's
whole lot of Tears of the Kingdom in this,
yeah. So the download size
but
for
Tears of
this
the Kingdom is worth talking about.
game,
Yeah, so the download size is 18.2 gigabytes, which makes it one of the biggest games on the Switch. And just to give you a perspective, Breath of the Wild was 14.4 gigabytes. So it's a pretty good size file.
which I know a lot of people are
Then
like,
that's what,
15.2 isn't that big, but when you compare it to like the Xbox and PlayStation games, but for it to be a Nintendo game on the Switch, that is an absolutely huge game.
well, and I believe what the V1 Switch only comes with 32 gigabytes of space
Yep,
without an SD card.
that's what mine is.
And the
Yep,
OLED went up to 64 gigabytes, but the V1 only comes with 32. So, I mean, that's a little under half of the whole hard drive.
it's over half. 16 would be half.
Oh, I was thinking of Breath of the Wild. Yeah, you're right. I was thinking of 14. I was like, 14 is not half of 30. But yeah, you're right. 18.
So
So
yeah,
yeah,
get an
Colin's gonna
SD.
have to get an SD card.
All right. Back to yet again Tears of the Kingdom and GameStop. I guess I could have waited to do the whole entire Link's Awakening thing until now, but still. Uh, GameStop, if you go through them, they're giving you a pre-order bonus if you decide to pre-order with them instead of Nintendo.
Yeah, so when you pre-order the game from GameStop, you'll get a free wooden plaque. It's cool to see a wooden plaque, but me personally, I'd rather get the collector's edition. You'll get more for it,
Yeah, but the collector's
but
edition you don't get on the voucher.
that's true.
That would be awesome. If they did like let that be a thing, like that counted as one thing, but because that would still save you $30.
Yeah, uh, it'd be cool if they did. But real quick, since this is the last Tears of the Kingdom topic for the day, do you think that this will be Nintendo's last big first party title on the Switch?
No,
No?
I think they'll release one more major Mario game because it's been just the same amount of time that they've really that's been it's been the same amount of time pretty much since Mario Odyssey has came out from what it has been for Breath of the Wild.
Right. Okay. So will it be Mario Odyssey 2 or will it be something to do with the Mario movie, you think?
At this point, I say it'll probably be a movie, unless in rethinking myself now, if the movie is their version of moving on from the thing. But still, the movie's going to release a month before Tears of the Kingdom drops, so it's like one of those gray areas. But they could be hiding the game right now to let the movie come out first, and then shadow drop the game shortly after on a random direct.
That would be pretty cool because there's a lot of hype behind that movie for one. And if they just drop a game with it, that game will sell a lot.
Oh yeah, the same reason why Last of Us is getting boosting sales right now, even though it's a 10-year-old game at this point.
All right, just because of the show. And they're making a part three game now. So
So yeah, it's just one of those things. Nintendo's Nintendo, so I mean, of course, they're going to sell a Mario title regardless. But yeah, pairing it up with a movie release, like I said, Nintendo, they're going to let Mario be their final thing on the Switch before they get the upgrade. I will be shocked if Tears of the Kingdom, and of course, you'll hear about it again if that is the last main first party title that goes through.
yeah, see, I don't think it's the last one. I think it's the last biggest one because Metro Prime 4 is still going to come out for the Switch. But like I said before, I think that's the title that's going to be both generations. It's going to be cross-gen. It's going to be on both systems. So I think that's going to be their last big. I think a Mario game will come out before Metroid Prime 4 does, but I think Metroid Prime 4 will be the last one. Not as big as Tears of the Kingdom, but pretty close.
See, I think they'll take a different approach to that one. I think that Metroid Prime 4 will be released on a new console by itself, and then they'll do kind of like Xbox and PlayStation is whatever games was originally supposed to go on the next gen console, they'll let it backdate. They'll let it cross over into the Switch for people that still don't go out and buy the new console right away. But I say it'll probably be one of the first releases on the new Nintendo console.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll see. We could both be wrong. We could, you never know what Nintendo's going to do. They could do completely something else. You never know what they're thinking.
I'm good so far. I got the direct down, but I
Yeah.
that's definitely a shot in the dark. At least
Yeah,
the
it is.
statistics on my last guess.
Yeah, I don't. Nintendo's odd.
Yeah, they are. All right. So going back, still with Nintendo. So Nintendo and Toyota are collaborating.
Yeah, the 2024 Toyota Grand Highlander, which made its world premiere hours before the opening day in the Chicago Auto Show, is bringing even more road trip adventures to its customers in partnership with Nintendo. Once on sale in summer 2023, 500 customers will receive a Nintendo Switch OLED model system and a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe game. So this is a collaboration that I never thought would happen because they're completely two different industries. But it's nice to see because I've always liked Toyota vehicles and I've always liked Nintendo. So two of my favorite companies come together. It's nice to see, and
Oh, that in
it goes better
Japan.
together than I thought it would. It makes sense, I guess, since it's a portable console.
Yeah, I mean, and they're both Japanese-based companies.
Yeah, so good for them.
Yeah, I'm intrigued in it. Granted, what the Highlander has one more row of seating than what the RAV4s have.
I think it has third row seating, but I think it's full size third row seating for like adults, not just a small third row seating.
Yeah, but it's not like the weird setup like a minivan would have.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely,
Colin's going to
and
go trade in his RAV for a Grand Highlander so you can get that free Switch OLED.
that's right. I want to go drop 40 grand on a vehicle just to get a free OLED.
That's right. It's a good deal. They have them in hybrid too, so you wouldn't be losing your hybrid.
That's right. Yeah, it's one of those things. Just looking at it, I look back on our childhood, like where you had, if you had a one of those weird cars that had the portable DVDs players in it, and now these kids get a OLED switch to go with their thing.
Yeah, it's weird. It's funny.
Because that was my understanding. I was thinking that it was attached to the seats like that, and you had OLEDs in the car, but yours definitely makes more sense.
Yeah, so when I first read it, I thought it like the TVs were built into the
Yeah,
seats, like the back of the seats. I was like, what? No way. Because I had portable DVD players when I was younger, not built in, but that'd be pretty cool. And I took PlayStation 1 in the car because I don't know if you remember, but the PlayStation 1 had a screen you could attach to it.
yeah,
So I took it in the car and played it, but it was a whole bulkier setup than being able to play a Switch in the car like that. But nope, they're not built in TVs. It's just they're releasing a OLED with a Highlander.
yeah. I don't know. Still, like you said, two completely different industries, but at the same time, it makes sense because they're both, same country of origin.
Right. Helping each other out. Did you see the Highlander they decked out and
Yeah,
customized. That was pretty cool looking.
yeah. If you guys
I
haven't
I
seen it,
wouldn't
go
drive
look
it
it up.
around, I don't think, but it was pretty cool.
I mean, I wouldn't drive it around, no. But I'm one of those people. I just like having the same type of color all around, not anything different.
Yeah, I don't like different like that.
I don't like sticking out on the road.
No, I don't either.
All right, finally off our Nintendo topics for today with a few minutes left. Dead Island 2 gets a new release date.
Yep. So the remake or remaster, it's one of the two. April 21st of this year, it will be released.
It was supposed to be, it's getting released a whole week early.
Yeah.
Well, a whole week early from the 10 years that it was supposed to be 10 years ago. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
supposed to get
Nice.
released in 2013, and they pushed it, they pushed it, they pushed it, they pushed it. And then finally they was like, oh yeah, April 28th, you're going to get it. And then they're like, never mind, you can have it on April 21st.
Pushed it long enough. We'll let you guys have it a little early.
Well, if they took 10 years to work on it, I hope all the bugs are out of it right away.
If that thing releases with bugs, then the developers need fired.
That is for sure. Yeah, I was seeing that. I'm just like, why? I'm just like, because I remember the hype behind it whenever initially then, like I said, just fell off the face of the planet.
It
And then
did.
all,
I didn't even think it existed anymore.
and then all of a sudden it's just like, oh yeah, it gets a new release date. I'm just like, oh, when's the new release date? It's like, oh, they moved it up a week. Good job for them. They moved it up a week after 10 years. Oh, hopefully they learn from Cyberpunk's mistake.
Release in awful state.
Pokemon Violet and Scarlet.
Yeah.
They got a pizza box today, and it had a Pokemon Violet and Scarlet one. If you scan the back of it, you got a wallpaper. I was like, what in the world are they trying to sell this game off a pizza box now?
It's selling well. I guess they'll
It's
try
selling
whatever.
well. My goodness, it's still they haven't really patched any of the bugs yet. Like, why are you still
No,
buying the game?
I don't know. Couldn't tell you.
Do you think we talked about multiverses right before it had came out way back when this podcast first started? And do you think it's officially over not even a year later? Well, not even, well, what, just over 6 months?
Yeah, it didn't release too long ago. Um, yeah, so it went from over 150,000 daily players on Steam at launch and now down to just under 1,000 daily players. But that's an issue with live service games. You got to keep releasing stuff to keep people interested, or they're just going to stop playing it. So Warner Brothers has, well, they have the IPs, the characters to just keep releasing new characters and keep people interested. But I don't know if that's enough. They need to release more content to keep people interested. Personally, I think it's only a matter of time before it shuts down because there's been quite a few of live service games that have shut down in the past couple weeks. So if they don't change something soon, yeah, they're done.
Yeah, their player base is definitely dropping like flies. I mean, I'm guilty of it. I said I was going to play, and I still never even downloaded it.
I played it one time. It was fun, but I'd rather play Smash.
As you say, I mean, pretty much a Smash slash Mortal Kombat ripoff.
Yeah,
Because it's more Mortal Kombat style play, isn't it? But it has the cartoonish effects of Smash. Correct?
it's kind of a mixture, but you jump around and it has the platformers like Smash.
Okay. Not more of a one-on-one type of situation like you see in Mortal Kombat.
Right.
Yeah, I hate seeing games like that just go, but at the same time, I mean, yeah, it's free to play, it's free for everybody, so it's one of those things, but there's obviously way better games out there.
Right.
Only difference is they're behind $60 price tags.
Yep. And this one's free, but nobody wants to play it.
I mean, free is not always better. You get what you pay for sometimes.
That's true. That's very true.
All right. Well, I believe that is everything for today. Go check
Yeah.
out
Unless,
our socials.
unless you count my extras I have here, but we can wait. They can wait till next week, I guess.
I can wait till next week.
Yeah, we'll make a wait.
I didn't need your extras. I had us right on time.
That's right. Real quick, I'm gonna tell them this one. Um, the Zelda theme switch we was talking about a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
It seems like a GameStop employee may have leaked it, the release date for it from March 10th. Even though it's not been officially even a real thing by Nintendo, it's most likely a real thing. But keep that in mind. Just want to say that real quick.
You say it's going to get released on March 10th?
March 10th.
Why would you get a console based on a game that's not even out then?
Well, they released the Splatoon 3 console before Spl- Splatoon 3 released, and then the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet console released before that game released as well. So I think it's just
Not too much
to get
before, but
hyped for the game, maybe. I don't know.
like a week at most.
Maybe that's saying that's when it's in their system for when it releases. Maybe that's just when they'll receive them.
Oh, yeah, that's whenever you can start their pre-orders.
Maybe. But March 10th, keep an eye on GameStop's website, on any gaming website. Follow on Discord, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram,
Which,
Twitch. We're live on Twitch. We do our episodes live on Twitch. And after, if you guys are still watching on Twitch, after this episode, I'll be live playing some Fortnite on my personal Twitch account. So if you guys want to watch that, I got my capture card finally.
you're playing some Fort?
Yeah, you want to play?
I might. I don't know yet. All right. Well, I think that's it. Later, guys.
All right, see you guys next week.